Morning, this is Richard again at Precision Transmissions. We're working on an 06 SS Trailblazer that's had a 4L80E swap in it. It had a 4L60 in it. They took the 4L60 out and put a 4L80 in it. It's a two-wheel drive. It's not an all-wheel drive. So the converter was put in 10 years ago. It is about a 3,500 stall. So the unit's been done 10 years ago that we know of. The hub's pretty messed up on it. We're going to send the converter off and have it gone through. So let's get this thing apart and see what we got. Now this is an early model 4L80E. It has all of the cooler lines are side by side instead of having one here at the front and one at the back. Where a late model is vice versa, it has one back here. So this tranny actually lubricates from front to rear instead of rear to front. So let's get this thing apart. Got your input and your output feed sensor right here. Put these out right here. See what we got. Now this tranny did come in with fluid in the connector. So when it comes in with fluid in here, you definitely want to change the internal wiring harness on the tranny, because this causes all kinds of shorts. We see a lot of this. Every one of them we do, we'd have to change it. It's just a common thing. This thing has a really nice smell to it. It lost in reverse, but I think we lost it in another matter. I think we lost third gear on this thing to lose it. So we'll see what we got. Now this was serviced here very recently, so you're not going to really see anything in the paint. They actually brought it to us with a little bit of a problem, he thought, and we did a service on it and tried to help him out, but it didn't help.
Made it work.
So we know the converter's been put in 10 years ago, so we don't know if the tranny was done anything to it 10 years ago either. So being that this thing's been heads and cammed and everything.
Made 400 horsepower.
You can tell it's been hot, that the connectors are really just breaking really easy.
Sorry?
Now this is your lubrication tube right here that physically lubricates the back of the bushing and stuff in the tail housing and in the back of the case. It actually comes, I had another video, we talked about this seal right here being in here, having a little orifice in it that comes back here.
You can see it.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to see. There's a little tiny hole in this here that seals up against here and comes back down here and comes out this hole right here and lubricates this tail housing bushing right here. On a four-wheel drive unit, this is plugged off. So if you ever put a four-wheel drive case in one, you better make sure you put a cup here that's got a hole in it to lubricate that rear bushing. We had a recent video here a while back where one was built that way wrong, and we caught it just in time. It had like 5 miles on it, I think, and it went down or something. I can't remember, but
yeah, but it was bad though. Yeah. But yeah, they did.
So these are your shift solenoids here. We call them A and B. This is your pillow switch. This is your lockup switch here, the pulse width modulating solenoid. and then your pressure control solenoid here. Let's get this a little bit farther. This is basically a 3-speed tranny with an overdrive unit on the back of it. This was designed after the 400 tranny. And basically the planetary gears and everything like that will fit out of this 480E into a 400 3-speed. So, pretty crazy how they designed some of this stuff. These are a lot heavier than a 400, take a lot more power to turn. So, this is your accumulator bodies. This is your valve body underneath.
Accumulator bodies, valve body.
Now this is your coast, not your coast clutch, but your engine braking band servo right here that applies your band.
And the farther we get in, the more it smells fried.
Yeah, it smells really good. We got all your check balls here. Your overdrive apply hole for your clutch. And you have your direct and your intermediate and your lube circuit stuff down here. Now this here is your reverse and your third gear accumulator. It's your reverse band servo. So this thing actually does two things. This here comes in and touches on your reverse band and applies it down through this hole here. I'll pull the band out in a minute and show you. And then you got your third gear accumulator piston here that applies this. Your third gear oil comes on the back and it softens your third gear shift. So.
Special 12-point socket.
Yeah.
Or a bolt. Takes a special socket.
Oh.
Oh.
That might
Well,
be a little tough to get out of me.
That don't look normal.
No, I have to try to get that out before I can get the tranny apart. You gotta go get your
tap and die set.
yeah, your easy out.
Yeah.
Taps in
Hold on,
there.
guys. We're gonna try to set this down real quick. Sorry for the shaking.
I'll go ahead and take it apart a little bit further. Well, we took out, this is a kind of an aluminum bolt that just broke off when we took it out. It's a hollow bolt in the middle that applies your overdrive clutch through that hole. So the shift kit we get physically comes with a new bolt. It's physically made out of steel instead of little cheap aluminum stuff. You see, this bolt used to be about that long. The rest of it's still stuck in there. We'll get it apart and see what it looks like. And we got the pump here. This is your overdrive planetary assembly here. Get this apart. If I need to order, if I need any parts, I need to get them coming here in just a minute with my other orders. So everything and see what shape it's in. These pumps are special from early to late, and you do not get them mixed up because the front to rear lubrication circuit is built into this pump. So you gotta be really careful. The pump looks really nice. We'll put some new gears in here and stuff. Then I need to check the flywheel on that thing and make sure that flywheel is not bad.
Okay.
Did you get that easy out or something? Let's see. Look at this. It's actually going to come out really nice and easy. I don't even have to beat it in with a hammer. I can just pull it out by hand.
Looky there.
So the new bolt that we put in there is a steel one compared to the aluminum one. These bolts are hollow. So, yeah, I mean, I barely touched it and it decided to break.
Sweet.
But it feeds it through this hole right here and applies this overdrive clutch right here. This bolt did. So that's how that looks right there. Look at your overdrive clutch here. I'd say they're a little bit cooked.
Yeah.
Now, like I say, this tranny was swapped into this thing. It is a 6.0. It does have quite a bit of power. Probably makes 500, I bet you or so. The crankshaft. Get in here and let's see what we got. So this is your forward clutch that moves the vehicle forward. These have a lot of issue with this bushing wearing and causing wear right down in here on this right here with these seals. There's two rings right here. See these right here? Right here. They seal right here on these lands right here. If that bushing wears out, this will touch and it'll mess up them lands right there. This metal part will touch down in here when this bushing wears. That's a common problem. It hasn't started doing it on this one yet, hard to believe. Because almost every one of them I do, I have to touch this drum right here. This is your forward clutch. Let's see what it looks like. This moves the vehicle forward. Now, if this tranny was built before, it does have a stock clutch in it. It doesn't have a performance clutch or anything. This is stock, plain Jane, yellow clutch. Has a bevel plate, several wave. And piston. Now, these right here, they vary in sound. Should make a, we can get hardened ones, and some of the 480Es have some good ones. Let's see what this sounds like. Okay, see how that ring? This is a good one. The other ones, I don't have one around right now to show you. It just goes thud, thud, because it's made out of pop metal, and they'll strip right in here. So these go really good in race car applications and stuff. This is a factory one, though. It's not an aftermarket, but the difference in the sound. That is a must when you're building it high performance. Now this here's your third gear clutch. Let's see what it looks like. So it shows to be still good. But when we go back, we'll go back with a clutch that we use, comes in the school buses. It's a real aggressive, a high metallic clutch. It's a waffle clutch. But it's the same clutch they use in all the school buses, and it really works. It'll eat this steel up before you eat that clutch, so it's really good. Now this has a sprag right here in the intermediate clutch right here, right under here. Let me get it out. We always want to check and make sure this is good. This is a one-way bearing that spins freely this way and locks the other like this. You always want to check this right here for chatter marks all the way around here where it locks. And then you also want to check on here. Get this off here. And get it off it. Look for chatter marks all along here and make sure there's nothing. Make sure it's nice and smooth. Down in here, where it doesn't have any sealing wear, 4 groove rings right here.
See where they run, but it's nice and smooth.
Get this out of here. Here's that engine braking band I was telling you about. That servo come in and pushed on the side and applied it around that band right here. We'll get down here to the second gear clutches and see what's going on here. I knew this tranny had 0 reverse. So we're going to find in here, see what we find. We haven't found it yet. Now this is the second gear clutches here. It does have a 4 clutch being a 480E, but you can still tell that they've had the heck beat out of them. Chatter marks all over the steels, stuff like that. pull this support out right here. And we'll look at, these are these 4 rings I was talking about that seal down inside this drum right here. This one right here, to make sure that you don't have any wear, because this sets on there just like that. You want to check here, because this is another one-way bearing, the race for it. This is your roller clutch, which does the same thing as a sprag, but it's bent this way, excuse me. It'll spin that way, but not the back. It won't go back, it spins this way. So, but it's just called 2 different things. They look different, but they do the exact same thing. Now, we're slowly getting down. We found our problem with our reverse. The band is just totally cut. Here. Well, you can see this band, it's just totally burnt. The line is burnt plumb off.
Almost looks like charcoal or
Come down to the
burnt
metal on
wood.
the tips. You can see the drum here too. And this band goes down this drum like that for reverse. So everything else seems to be fine. We'll tear it down a little bit more. We want to get our order in for the rest of our parts on this thing. So if you need anything done at Precision Transmissions, give us a holler. Have a good day.